Hey there, billionaire. Erica McMillan, the queen of automation. I was just having a conversation with some clients and some fellow entrepreneurs, and I wanted to share, I thought to do this video to share a little bit of insight in regards to how businesses are actually thriving in the midst of challenging times such as the pandemic, right? You know, COVID hit us back last year around March of 2020, and we've seen a lot of businesses be very challenged in even surviving during the pandemic. We've seen some businesses pivot during the pandemic. We've seen businesses actually spring forth in the midst of the pandemic. And as we were having different conversations about successful businesses that are scaling to 6 and 7 figures, the question that kind of surfaced was, how are businesses really thriving in the midst of challenging times? And so there are two things that I've realized that most entrepreneurs and small businesses do in the midst of challenging times that help them to go through that particular period, that particular season, and actually come out on top. Okay. And the first thing that I've noticed is that they press through and see the process through. Okay. They press through and they see the process through. What do I mean by that? I mean that they stay committed to the process. Even though there's challenging times, they hold fast to the strategy for their business, right? They hold fast to whatever the commitments were in their business, right? As much as possible, they see through those commitments. At the same time, I also noticed that most of these entrepreneurs or businesses are actually investing in things that most are cutting back on. For instance, in the midst of like the depression, for instance, the brands that surfaced and arose to the occasion, most cases, they were brands that were actually investing more in marketing, investing more in developing the company even more, investing more in coming up with innovative ways to, in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of a depression, in the midst of that challenging time, to actually show that they are a industry leader, right? To actually show their clients, their customers, that they are the ones that you should continue to do business with, even in the midst of those challenging times. So I've noticed that these different businesses are investing in things that many are cutting budgets on. Case in point, I've noticed that our business, it has actually, looking at the numbers from January 2020 versus January 2021, we've doubled. And that has something to do with the fact that we were investing in things that many were not willing to invest in. We were investing into creating better client experiences. We were investing into our team, refining our team. We were investing into various aspects. We were investing into marketing. So there's various aspects that we were investing into our business so that these were like foundational points for us to be able to pivot even in the midst of what was going on, right? And what is still going on today. Now, the other thing that I noticed is these businesses that thrive, not just survived, but thrived in challenging times, whether it was a challenge that was, economic challenge that everybody was facing, or whether it was just a challenging period for that industry or a challenging period for their business. Another thing that I realized is they made sure, these businesses overall, make sure that their strategies are simple. Their strategies are simple and supported by systems. Their strategies are simple and supported by systems. Why? Because simplicity breeds prosperity. The more simple you make something, the easier it is to manage, as well as to monitor, as well as to iterate. Okay. And then I noticed that these things were strategic. They were very strategic in the moves that they were making. They were very intentional in the moves that they were making, and they stayed the course. They pressed through. They saw through that process. And at the same time, these things were something that were systematic. There were systems in place to actually see this strategy through, to actually manage and monitor these strategies, okay? And a lot of times it's what I found with businesses is not that the businesses are challenged with bringing in more money. Like some people say, well, I can't thrive. I have had a challenging time with marketing my business or growing my business or thriving in my business because I need more money. It takes money to make money. Yes, it takes money to make money. However, at the same notion, if you have a strategy and you're intentional with that strategy, you see that strategy through and you're consistent in it and you have systems to support it, then oftentimes you can press through to the next phase and the next phase and the next phase. Case in point, oftentimes people think that they need to do more of one particular activity in their business, right? And oftentimes there are gaps in their systems. There are gaps in their consistent approach to strategically going after that goal, to strategically growing and scaling that business, right? So overall, I saw this pattern. I've seen this pattern even with my business, my clients that have been doing well in the midst of the challenging time of the pandemic. I've seen it even when I study business models during challenging points of history, like the Great Depression. What I've noticed is they've done these three things. They've stayed the course. They've saw through the process and remained consistent regardless of what was going on around them. They didn't get distracted by what is going on with the economy or what is going on around them. The second thing is they have a very strategic, a very simple systematic approach, right? And then the other thing is, like I said, they keep things simple. Okay, they keep things simple. So you want to make sure that when you are looking at your business, it's not really all about just one activity that makes a successful business. It's all about a full circle systematic approach that is very strategic, that you can very much see through and you can be consistent with. In most cases, it's a simplistic approach that will warrant you the best results, because the simpler it is, the easier it is to manage, to monitor, and to be consistent with. Okay. Again, this is Erica McMillan. Just wanted to hop in here real quick and give you those few 2 cents, $200 worth of insight in regards to, I'm constantly studying different business models. I'm constantly analyzing my business, constantly analyzing the success of my clients and seeing, okay, what is really making them successful? What is really behind all, what's behind the scenes that's really making things really work for them. And I just wanted to share that with you as a result of some conversations that we've had with clients. All right. Now, if you would like a free automation strategy session, a complimentary automation strategy session, you want to click on the link below or above this video so that you can schedule a strategy session with yours truly. We will look and see we'll look at your business, assess your business, and see what kind of strategy needs to be applied to your business so that you can be even thriving, even more so, even more than you currently are, even in the midst of a pandemic. All right, this is Erica McMillan again, the queen of automation. I'll see you next time. Take care.